Honey, come on, dude. Get a grip. Girl, get a grip. Oven, stove, range. Where's the info for the stove? On the back of it? GE. Shit. A second after I do this. Oh, my man. I need to go exercise so bad.
Good boy. He gets good boy cheese.
Nope, can't put that there because I need to use that. Oh, you're just going to go back there. Yes, I'm coming, love. What is the model of this oven? All right. Outside potty? Based on the layout and touchpad, looks like a G E 30-inch slide in JSP. Let's look. Okay. Be right back. I have to text my landlord. All right, let me just make it a little neater before I text him a photo of all this mess. Let me send this to my landlord. Alrighty, lamb. I did already in the oven. I looked to see if the information was there. It was in the fridge like that, but not in the oven. There's just a warning. You know, California warning or whatever. Yum. Dude, guess what I got gifted to me today? I'll show you in 1 second. Hold on. Once I figure out how to do this. Look what I got gifted to me today. You know what that is? That is an Oregon native pitcher plant. Yellow jackets, flies, wasps, and ants. Full sun, 5-hour minimum, good container plant, grows in peat moss perlite, blah, 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 blah. Growing season April to October, goes dormant in the winter. Trim and divide in early spring. How cool is that? Okay, got the information the landlord needs to the landlord. And now I'm gonna get a new I'm getting a new refrigerator and a new stove. I'm so excited. There will be a bug on it. It attracts bugs and then eats them. Feta cheese. Feta cheese tastes to me like olives, green olives. No, it's a pitcher plant. It's not like a Venus flytrap. It stays open. It has liquid in it and slippery walls. And the liquid inside of it stinks. So it attracts the bugs. They land on the walls of the plant and slide down into the digestive juices. This is fire. Veggie cream cheese with feta on top. Yep. Yum. I already ate a whole bagel just like this. This is my second one. I was hungry. Yeah, I'll be right there. You always want to go outside. You're not allowed. Good boy. That was perfect timing. Now you don't have to listen to that loud ass train. It is my real hair, but my natural color is like a clear blonde color. I use henna, which is like plants, to turn it red. Lore. Lore. I already did give the dog some. He can't have any of the bagel. Otherwise he'll die. It has onion and garlic and all that shit. Here. You have some of the feta. Yummy, yummy, yummy bagels are so freaking yummy. I can't wait to vacuum my floor. Milk is so good right now. Usually don't like milk. At least not like by itself. But I guess my body wants the bulky protein. I just had like a cheese on top of dairy on top of cheese with a side of bagel. Love. Where you at? Lore. Where'd you go? Lore. I thought you wanted some. Let Money have some too. Are you sharing with the kitty? Good boy. Good job. Did you guys share together? Let Money have some. Here. Let Money have some. Good job. Wait, Orly, wait. Let Money have some. Orly, let Money. You're such a selfish little man. Sorry, Mama. I'll go get you some regular food anyway. I gotta go upstairs. Are you hungry? You want some food? Come with me, lesbian seagull. Guess who's not in heat so much anymore? That's the one. Why aren't you jingling? Okay. About to say, where's your bell at, bitch? Oh! Cool. Just trip me. That's fine. wants me to feed her, but then she like trips me on my way in the room. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Don't eat that. Wait. Stop. Don't eat that. I said don't eat that. It's from this morning. That's old. Why are you so fucking messy, dude? How could you like not? I don't know. Like how could we figure a way for you to not do that? Fly with me, lesbian seagull. Oh, I should go pee. Damn it. My pocket. Why is my clothes on the floor, Mums? Fly with me, fly with me. I think I might have overeaten. I should probably get stoned. Look at those baby feet. Not a callus to be had anywhere in sight. Look at that. Literally. Shiny. So soft. Crazy. Oh, I have hiccups. Can't believe that. My big toe has a little bit of stuff to go, but that's because, oh, there she goes. There's still just a little bit of skin left on the big toe that needs to be pulled off. But once that goes, she's totally donezo. and that means that I have 0 dead skin. The top of my feet, I've never, like, I have sensation, like, that I've never experienced before. Like, I can feel, like, it's just weird. Anyway, baby feet is literally the absolute best shit on the planet. It's like $20. You put your feet in these little booties. You wear it for like 2 hours. Best thing to do is do it after a shower so your feet are soaked wet, like hydrated and like pruny a little bit. The prunier your feet, the better. So you put the baby feet on, your little booties on. You wear it for like 2 hours. Then you take them off, go about your life. For every day, for like 5 days, soak your feet in water until they're soaked, until they're absorbed all the water and they get a little bit pruny. And then you just take your feet out. I like to put my feet with, after that, I like to put Vaseline on my feet and then wear socks, because it really does. The more hydrated your feet are during this process, the quicker and the like more drastic the like sheet that will come off. I filmed it on here so you can go watch it. I literally pulled the bottom of my feet off in a sheet. It was that wide, that long. It was crazy. And it was thick skin. All of my calluses came off. The deep, thick ones. I used to have the worst cracks on my heels because I was barefoot all the time. And then I started working this job where I have to wear boots and work out in the deep grasses and stuff. So I have to like have these boots on and shit. And the boots make my feet soft. But I have all these calluses that were like bothering me. So it was making me have like blisters under my skin. And so I finally started using the baby feet, and I have 0 calluses. I don't even have cracks on my feet anymore. They're just smooth and round. There's no cracks on my heels at all. You would never be able to tell that I was a barefoot person and that I went barefoot outside like every single fucking moment of my life. Look at those little cute tootsies. They're just pink and perfect. And soft, and I love it. I love it. My feet are soft. I don't like rub my own leg in the middle of the night and scratch myself up. My feet, so I can't stand it, dude, if my feet like scratch my blankets under the bed or in the sheets at night, and then like they catch. That used to happen, like calluses of my feet or like whatever would snag a little bit on the bed sheets. Yeah, tallow is good too. But if you don't have all that, and almost everybody's got Vaseline, and Vaseline works great. And if you think you can't use Vaseline on your skin, yes, you can. Vaseline is so amazing for your skin when it comes down to like, you know, nothing or Vaseline. No, I'm not going to show them again. You have to send me a super chat for that. Why? How dare you ask me to show you my feet and not do so in the form of offering me money? Yep, it works really good with psoriasis. Any kind of dry skin. I'm telling you, dude. Before I did the baby feet, I was like, oh, well, I just want to like hydrate my feet so that I have like less callus action going on. So after I soaked in the tub or took a shower, I put Vaseline on my feet and then put socks on. And I'm not even kidding when I tell you, like the next day, my feet were so soft and all of the Vaseline like absorbed into the skin, and it was not nearly like this because I used the baby feet and took all my dead skin off. But it worked very good. Vaseline is literally petroleum. It's a byproduct of the gasoline industry. Okay. Let's find something to listen to while I stretch, something that is mindless, and we'll go on for like maybe an hour. I won't shave my head. Why would I do that? What am I, some kind of fucking dancing monkey? I do have to put diesel in my bus, yes. It's pretty cool how it like gets all the dead skin. Even like your cuticles, if your cuticles are like dead skin, like the stuff they'd normally trim off, that shit just comes right off. So like all of my cuticles are like brand new, fresh, like I've had a pedicure. It's crazy. It's come, all the dead skin has come off my actual nail. You know how sometimes your cuticle will leave a little residue on your nail that you have to like scrape off when you go to the thing. They'll like scratch that shit off in the corners. Anyway, the baby feet takes that shit off too. So cool. Yes, it is. All right, I need to find something to listen to.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Lindsey Graham.
I never listen to this guy usually.
No longer with us.
He pisses me off usually. I can't usually stand him, so we'll see how long I can last.
For our country. And it says CNN,
that
he
sucks.
asked the staffer to call 911 after reporting chest pains. But most people are saying he was blown up in a Ukrainian drone facility that he was inspecting by Russia. That Russia might have either poisoned him or they might have blown him to bits. I love these drones. They look good. I love a drone. That's probably the last thing he saw was a drone. I love these drones. They're big and hard. They fly through the air, these drones.
Did you guys ever hear? Okay, so I'm assuming you guys all know who Lindsey Graham is, right? There's a story that came out on, I think it was like Reddit, probably 15 years ago, 12 years ago, probably, about Lindsey Graham. And it was a male prostitute. And he was posting that he had lots of clients in Washington, D.C., men who, you know, pretended to be straight, had wives, whatever. Anyways, he said one of his clients was Lindsey Graham, the senator. And he said that Lindsey Graham, when he got naked, he had all of these really weird, odd-shaped they stick out real far from his body. There are all these moles in his ass crack all around his asshole. And so Lindsey Graham looks at the male prostitute and goes, "Oh, don't you mind my little ladybugs." That's why Lindsey Graham's nickname is Lindsey Ladybug Graham. That's why the picture going around of him on the internet in the ladybug costume is because he has like all these moles in his asshole area. And a male prostitute outed him for calling them his little ladybugs. I heard about that like 12 years ago. I tell people every time I see Lindsey Graham on TV or I see a post about him or anything on social media, I always comment, "Don't forget about Lindsey Graham's little ladybugs."
People. Some people gotta be killed.
You shouldn't smoke cigarettes. Just a heads up.
I don't know. It feels like people are saying that
I don't have
the
strawberry
timeline
bush,
does
so
not add up, and that Lindsey Graham, who was pretty.
I didn't mark my
fine,
skin like
but, I
this.
mean, Trump said that his dad died of the same thing around the same age, Lindsey Graham's father, and that genetics is genetics. But I want to imagine Russia blowing up a drone facility where Lindsey Graham is. I think it's a better way for him to have died. And I want that to be the lasting image I have of Lindsey Graham in my mind, just kind of like in a drone factory, hot, sweaty men and big drones. Just kind of in his happy place, you know, sweaty military guys and big drones. And what will you do with these drones? I love these drones. Yeah, I mean, he toured Ukrainian drone factory before his sudden death. What a weird thing to do, to tour a drone factory. What an odd thing to do. He went to a drone factory to take a tour. He loves death. I love these drones. He loves death, that guy. He liked the machinery of death. And Graham was reportedly shown vampire bomber drones, also known as Baba Yaga, as well as the Shrike FPV drone and the P-1 Sun Shahed interceptors.
It's funny because when you say shit like that, Zarnath 1689 sounds like some demonic name in and of itself. But anyways, when you say shit like that, you're just outing yourself. You're outing yourself as a judgmental person and a person who just like honestly has terrible, terrible, terrible discernment. Like you can't even like make a good judgment guess when you know your discernment isn't even good. So like you just suck at what you're doing.
It's not at all out of place here. It's a very
You couldn't have me pegged any wronger if you tried. Because you just obviously didn't try.
I'm not even talking about right or wrong. I'm just going, is it American?
See, this dreadlock is dreadlocking itself, like, to the scalp, to the point where it's, like, starting to hurt. I have to, like, try to stop it.
Like, is this American? Is this on brand? And it is. To be like a southern,
that was hurting
deeply
there.
closeted southern guy, sipping sweet tea, close relationship with his sister, and loves war. And loves war, because that's what men do. They go to war. And he loved war, and he loved money, and he loved power, and he loved having that ability to go into Washington, D.C. and order a bunch of people into combat. And, you know, maybe Russia poisoned him. Maybe that drone factory blew up. Maybe it was a sudden illness, but it feels like, or maybe he got so excited during the drone tour. He got so excited that he went back to Washington, D.C., and he autoerotically asphyxiated or something, you know, like maybe he just really got so excited by this whole thing. It was so sexual, it was so hot that he just went back to his house and just started, you know? Because the drones are kind of phallic, you know? And just imagine, I think there was part of him that imagines being pierced by a drone. Like, listen, getting fucked by a dick is nice, but imagine a drone. Imagine the mechanical nature of being fucked by a drone. You know, like that. And I think it might have awakened something in him. That idea of that kind of man and machine. This idea that he could maybe have sexual relations with a drone. That it could potentially, enter him. And listen, maybe in more holes than one. If
My head smells delicious. I will like
or
wash my hair almost
drone for sure.
3 days in a row, 4 days in a row.
Worshipping it, licking it, tasting it, taking it in your mouth as far as it can go, cutting off your oxygen with it, breathing through your nose because you have the drone in your mouth, but then also anally spreading your legs for it and letting it enter you and letting it dominate you and feeling submissive towards it because it is.
Patricia's a miserable troll who's been stalking me for a while now.
It's just a highly advanced machinery. Imagining it turning you. Yeah, I mean, take a look at that.
Honestly, it smells like right now all I can smell is
a little bit at the end about
what's the brand? It's not oil of Olay. It's
there's no way. And by the way,
it's either Dove or Ivory. I can't remember which one, but the one that my grandmother used to buy. It's the one that's like rose. It's the rose one. It's the pink bar. I used that yesterday when I was washing my body, and so my hair was like up against my back. Well, my back was all soapy because I use a washcloth, and I like get every single square inch of my body with the washcloth until I'm like soapy all over the place, and then I rinse myself off. And I had already washed my hair by that point, so my hair was just like laying down my back, and so it touched against that. So now my hair kind of has the smell of that soap on it. I rinsed it off really good, but the scent is really nice and it clings. So my hair smells like that right now. This guy's meh, whatever. I don't care. I worked my freaking ass off today. I cleaned the shit out of a house.
All right, that was close. You'll notice I didn't pull up any comments during that. There was a lot of prep taking place in the very last seconds, and I was even, I think, 2 minutes late. So I apologize. I do apologize. It won't happen. Well, it might happen again, but I will not let it happen again tomorrow because I won't be on tomorrow. Guys, welcome in Rare Friday live edition. I don't typically go live on Friday evening, but this week we had to switch a show, and we had to switch it around because the show that we were preparing for yesterday was not ready. I'm here to report it is mostly ready, and so we will cover the ready portion, and we will kick the stuff that's still not ready to Sunday. This is going to be a complex show when we get it all put together. There are just some things that need to be discussed relative to who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why that are being largely, I think, pushed to the background. I won't say ignored, but pushed to the background and need to be brought back out front. One of the things we're going to discuss tonight is in the open. We're going to discuss maybe how is going to be difficult to answer because we don't know, and we would never know. And I hope to provide a little clarity to that in the open. it's something we have to consider. We're also going to take a look at our friend Danny Phillip. Very interesting in the 2 seconds after Charlie Kirk is taken down. What is going on with Danny Phillip? I want to talk about his positioning, what he had with him, and so forth and so on. We're going to get to that as well. We also have the airplanes that were frequently used by Charlie Kirk and his team, Team USA. We tracked them pretty detailed over the course of about 2 years. Every city, every flight, every day. And there was a lot of questions about
FaceTime audio, Grandpa Josh. Oh, my back. I need a crack. Be right back. Gotta call my kid. All right, my kiddo just called.
So we'll look at that tonight as well.
Got that done.
What's the other? Plan C. We talked about Plan A and Plan B the other day with the guy on the roof. We think we might have more evidence of a Plan C potentially. Somebody, an astute listener, pointed this out during the comment section, and when I went back and looked, it kind of made sense to me. Then I found a more elongated version of that video, and it makes a lot of sense to me now. And I'll explain that. And we got a couple other little things. We're gonna have a fun show. This is going to be a fun show. It's Friday. I miss Ian Carroll's old Free Speech Friday. I was listening to Free Speech Friday last, September, October. Driving down the road, driving to the grocery store, driving to get gas. Had the phone inconspicuously propped up on the dash. Listening, not watching, just listening. When he started talking about your humble host, I had no notice that was going to happen. And this show took a different trajectory after that day. Trajectory. It's a hard word to say. Makes you sound like you're drunk when you're trying to say it. They took a different trajectory. Yeah, I did, though. Took a different trajectory after he mentioned the program on his Free Speech Friday. So I'm forever thankful to him. And I'm forever sentimental on Friday afternoon shows. Oh, Shabbat Shalom. For those of you who celebrate. All right, let me start rolling through the open here because I think it'll provide a little bone, a little meat, a little context to what I perceive as one of the major problems with trying to figure out who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. The why is particularly difficult to diagnose. As I'll say in my open, I'm very convinced it's not a 30-06. I'll tell you why. There's been some recent developments on that front in the last 24 or 48 hours. I'll get to that as well, but I want to remind you that this case is a binary choice. You have two choices at your disposal. You have a choice that TPUSA, the state government of Utah, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the U.S. military, foreign militaries, foreign intelligence agencies, all the way, everybody you can possibly throw in the bag. They're all involved. That's choice A. Everyone's involved. And choice B is Tyler Robinson woke up one day, decided he was going to climb the Losi Center staircase, pull out Granddaddy's 30-06, take a single crack at Charlie Kirk, and then scale down the building like Spider-Man and escape into the woods. That's choice B. There is no third choice. There's no third choice. The idea that TPUSA somehow planned and executed this and decided they were going to frame Tyler Robinson and maybe Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff out there war gaming it, that's not possible. That's not possible. It can't be them alone. For example, you couldn't have Blake and Andrew order the paving of the crime scene 4 days later. That wouldn't happen. That crime scene paving was being discussed the following day. TPUSA doesn't have that kind of pull in the state of Utah, particularly not on a college campus. So you have to rule that out. That is ruled out. You also have to rule out that maybe the U.S. government...
That little maneuver, those foot like this and then foot like this, that literally wakes up your glutes and your hip muscles so much. So like when you do squats after that, they actually like work. And it feels good on your muscles.
So you have to rule that out. Plus you have then you're going to turn the investigation over to the state of Utah and hope they don't figure it out. No. You can't.
Grandma knows what's up.
So
Grandmas do die. That's kind of what the circle of life is. We're born, and then we die.
It's a binary choice. It's a binary choice. If we don't accept Tyler, then we necessarily have to accept it's everybody. And if it's everybody, we have to accept that they may be using technology that we don't understand. You have to accept that as a reality. Because throughout history, and certainly during modern times, militaries have pursued military weapons, and they do it in strict secrecy. These weapons aren't developed in broad daylight. They're developed in what we call black programs, meaning they aren't known to the general public. They're to the government, right? They're segregated out. The general public frequently could not even comprehend their existence. Certainly the function. Because your everyday experience of what you know is based on what you've seen, what you've heard about. For popular science, common sense, if provides no adequate framework, no adequate frame of reference for technologies that are being developed in secret. We have technologies relying on invisible
Wish this was like a bar
electromagnetism.
instead of something like this.
These are particularly opaque. Most people understand electricity through your house. You turn the lights, the studio lights. I got a switch that turns on all the studio lights. That's about as much as I know about electricity. I don't want to touch the plug.
Cat tearing up my fucking yoga mat.
I don't understand high power electromagnetic effects. I don't understand really how EMPs work. I hear about them, but I think that they're kind of ephemeral concepts. I might grasp a little bit at a time and then it's gone. And we certainly don't understand things that shoot energy through the air and induce some sort of sensation at a broad distance. I want you to think about the Manhattan Project for a second. This offers a very classic case of what I'm talking about. The public was well aware of conventional explosives. They had watched bombings in traditional wars. They'd lived through, not to the public, had lived through World War I, for example. They knew what trench warfare was. They knew, there were areas in France where you couldn't go because there were still bombs. And they might have even, the smart ones, or those particularly educated, might have had some concept of early atomic theory. And they might have heard from the newspaper that there's this concept where you could harness the energy of the atom. But what does that really even mean? The large scale of nuclear fission was beyond most people's comprehension in 1945. It was just unimaginable until August of 1945. And that's when this previously unimaginable theory, this unimaginable hell, was unleashed on two cities in Japan. And we learned later the bomb actually harnessed subatomic processes. And most people still don't understand how a nuclear bomb works. I have a basic understanding of how a nuclear bomb works. I watched a 30-minute video that tried to explain how you weaponize uranium. Because you always hear about, they have 60% enriched uranium. It's 70% enriched uranium. It's only 10%. I didn't even know what that meant. And so I watched a 30-minute video. It's called Enriched Uranium for Dummies or something. I got to the end of it, I thought, I'm even dumber than dummies. Because I still don't really understand it. You turn it into a gas, and then you spin it at the right amount, and then you suck it out of the middle. What? Who thinks of this stuff? How do people, that is it, like, my mind, even well aware, 80 plus years of the atomic era, still can't even grasp the basics of it. It's just beyond our common knowledge. But on the Manhattan Project, it was even more beyond our common knowledge. The secrecy was total. There were over 130,000 people who were believed to have worked on the Manhattan Project. But they worked in such compartmented facilities that none of them could grasp the full concept of what they were working on. Most of them couldn't even get a partial picture of what they were actually working on. And then you add on top of that you got electrical weapons, magnetic weapons, and it just amplifies the disconnect between what exists and what's possible, what might exist, and what I can even think about. During World War II, for example, it's when we learned about radar fuses, proximity fuses. This was early electromagnetic breakthroughs. And what they do is they use, think of radar. It uses electromagnetic radio, and it detects aircraft that I might not even be able to see visibly. Well, if you're in 1945, that is completely alien to me. That doesn't even make sense. The public is accustomed to things like spotlights, visible signals, maybe even radio signal, maybe bounce a radio signal so you get it back. But electromagnetic radar? No. I mean, that was just something they couldn't comprehend.
Where's my remote?
But these revolutionary ideas were hidden from the public. And sometimes they became public when they had to deploy them and they had to explain it. After the war, you had electromagnetic pulse technology, EMPs. I think we found those quite by mistake. There was a 1962 experiment called Starfish Prime. And it was a high-altitude nuclear test, and what they realized was it caused electrical disruption hundreds of miles away from the blast. And it did it because it interacted with the Earth's electromagnetic field. And they thought, so a single event can induce damage through currents in electronics across so clearly fixed.
I do hold my breath every now and again. I like to train myself to be able to work in low oxygen. I'm
It's
a swimmer.
high-powered microwave. And it disables electronics in targeted areas. And it doesn't need the kinetic blast, the traditional blast that we think of when we think of an EMP. These are electricity bombs. They're operating by overwhelming circuits in a particular area with really intense pulse electromagnetic fields. The technology's rooted in classified pulse power research going all the way back to the 1970s. Then you have high-power microwave systems, millimeter wave systems. The active denial system. It's a vehicle-mounted heat ray. A vehicle-mounted heat ray. Imagine being in 1885 and explaining to somebody a vehicle-mounted heat ray. They don't know what a vehicle is. Much less a heat ray. This penetrates the skin only about a half a millimeter. And it heats the water molecules in the skin almost instantly, and it creates a truly intolerable burning sensation. It makes you run away. You've got to get away from this feeling. It was tested pretty extensively, but even though people were tested on it, it was largely kept out of public view for a long time. To the average person, the idea of an invisible being causing pain and then you look down and there's no physical injury seems like science fiction. And then declassified documents come out, declassified demonstrations, and you realize it is in fact reality. We have
I do know how to
electromagnetic railguns or coil
breathe properly.
accelerate projectiles using forces we don't even know about. I mean, the Lorentz force. But it's a powerful electromagnetic field that generates massive electrical currents.
I'm part mermaid, so I've trained my heart to slow down.
That ignites and sends an
And I
object
breathe.
downrange. This is a
My
powerful
oxygen levels don't go down at all.
that draws it downrange. The U.S. Navy invested a lot in this technology. Other countries have as well. They reach hypersonic speeds, multiple times Mach 6, Mach 7, Mach 8. So you talk to the public and you're like, hey, we're going to launch metal slugs at Mach 7, and we're going to do it with a magnet. Well, people are like, that doesn't make sense. Well, it doesn't make sense to me either. It works. It exists. You got otherworldly, utterly terrifying things, frankly, that sound demonic, like the microwave auditory effect, also known as the cry effect. You get pulsed microwaves that induce in your mind sounds or voices even, right in the head, because it stimulates the neural tissue. And it, it's suspected to be used in things like the Moscow syndrome or the Havana syndrome effect. This voice-to-skull directed energy neurological effect, it very obviously strained credulity for those who had no knowledge of how it worked. And then you hear about it and you go, okay, well, that's one more thing I got to worry about as I'm walking around. It's bad enough I've got this internal dialogue that sounds absolutely crazy if you're in my head. Now I got to worry about someone inducing even more chatter. You got stealth technology where they wrap vehicles in a certain way, airborne vehicles in a certain way, and the radar absorb it. And the radar was hard enough to grasp. The fact that you can now shield a weapon from radar becomes even harder to grasp. We have directed energy lasers, and they sit on the electromagnetic spectrum. You can, in theory, detect them and conceive of them, but this goes all the way back to the 1930s. The early death ray concept for the 1930s, people were considered cranks who were talking about death rays back in World War II. But these were serious programs, and they were serious military laser programs, and they advanced in secrecy. And now you have modern systems out of that program that can burn drones or even objects at light speed. And obviously they use a lot of power and they have some limitations, but they exist. But the public's inability to comprehend all these things stem from just a few factors. You've got very rapid technological acceleration, and it outpaces our education. It outpaces what we've been told exists. You've got people who compartmentalize each of the little components of this. So even the people working on it don't have a full idea of what they're working on. They're certainly going to deny it. The officers that are responsible for it are going to deny it, even if we bring it up and ask about it. It's natural for human beings to rely on the visible, rely on something you can smell, taste, feel, hear. And then you've got this counterintuitive nature of invisible forces. Sci-fi, you know, long as sci-fi's been around, it's depicted ray guns. But you now have precise, very power-hungry, non-explosive versions that used to seem implausible. But the evidence suggests they're quite real. You have electrical and magnetic weapons, and they operate through invisible fields. What I'm saying here is, we have a lot going on behind the scenes at any given time that you and I don't know, that you and I can't even comprehend how it works. And I raised this issue tonight because it's becoming increasingly obvious Charlie Kirk was not killed with a 30-06 to the neck. I think last night Valhalla VFT put up a fantastic video that essentially put the issue to bed for me. He demonstrated the exact shot using the exact round that we're told was used. And he did it from the exact 9-degree angle and the exact 140-yard distance from the Losi Center to Charlie Kirk. And the result was incontrovertible. It put the issue to bed. He used animals that were very alive just a few hours before. They were bigger, stronger, denser than Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
And the 30-06 just
That's exactly right.
No match.
That's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing.
They were undeniable and huge. Skin, muscle, bones.
I'd rather have no acetal than Zachary's disease. So
No match for the 30-06.
wouldn't be talking too much shit if I were you. That Zachary's disease
I was
shit you got going on.
The 30-06 took down Charlie Kirk. I held out, you know, maybe a 1% to 2% possibility. I walked away from this video last night 100% convinced, completely convinced a 30-06 could not possibly have done what the mainstream narrative claims. It simply didn't happen. In fact, after his video, I pulled up every known angle that I have in my system of the shot in Charlie Kirk. None of them are remotely similar. None of them. So what did happen? How did Charlie Kirk die? I don't know. I don't know. Was it another gunshot round, perhaps from another location? I don't think so. I highly doubt it. Was it an exploding microphone? The truth is, I don't know. Was he electrocuted? I can't say. Was some advanced system used that your mind and my mind cannot yet comprehend? Maybe. And I guess it raises the obvious question.
Hello, doll.
Will we ever know? Again, maybe. That is your opening statement. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I want to get through, gosh, I don't even know what order I want to take this. I think I want to take the Danny Phillip thing first. I want to get through the Danny Phillip thing because I am so disturbed by Danny Phillip at the scene. Before I knew who Danny Phillip was, before I'd ever heard the name Danny, it took me, I don't know, weeks to figure out. You know, much of the first few weeks was just trying to identify. We talk about Mikey McCoy now like everybody knows who Mikey McCoy is. You saw Mikey McCoy running down the street, of course you know who Mikey McCoy was. It was not instant that we knew who Mikey McCoy was.
I still don't know what he looks like.
But at the time, but now we know who he is. But at the time, we didn't know who he was. Same with Danny Phillip. Most people still don't know who Danny Phillip is. I'm going to let Candace do a little intro because I cannot do it unless she did. She did an excellent job the other day. I think this was probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Opening up Danny Phillip, who he was, how he's connected to the case. I'm going to let her go for a minute or so. It's Friday. We'll be a little more with her. I'll let her go for a minute or so, just explaining who Danny Phillip is, and then I'm going to take you to the scene of the trial. And we're going to look at what did Danny Phillips do. Danny Phillip, one Phillip, not two, in the immediate aftermath.
Water is what I want.
My mind immediately went to
My drink.
is Danny Phillip. Because who is Danny Phillip? That's an important question, actually. Danny Phillip is very young. He just graduated college in May of 2025. He's hired right out of college to work for Charlie. Danny Phillip, you might recall, many moons ago, we discussed Mikey McCoy's call logs. Before Charlie got shot at 12:02, Mikey McCoy was on the phone with Danny Phillip. I thought they were just both about the event, maybe, I don't know what that phone call is about. And then after Charlie gets shot, he's on the phone for 10 minutes with Danny Phillip. I thought it initially was Danny, no, it's Danny Phillip, this young kid, freshman in college. And I got to thinking, again, why were there so many these?
See, I said researcher and longtime friend. Longtime friend? Of who? Longtime friend? Charlie was 31 years old. Danny had graduated college like a few months before. I think he graduated college maybe in May of 25, if I'm not mistaken. And how long of a friend has he been? Something's not right. Something's very, very weird. So, I wanted to go back after her excellent episode and say, what do we know about Danny Phillip? Let's just go back to the scene of the crime. Let's set it up. We remember at the scene of the crime, Mikey McCoy. You remember Mikey McCoy had on a backpack? I'm not going to bring it up and show you. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. It's a high IQ outfit. If you don't remember the backpack, keep up. Look up a picture. I can't help it. I don't even know if he shows up in this video. But I want to go back to the scene of the crime. Now, we have taken great care for two reasons. One is
Why can't I balance?
The scene of the crime. But two is we're not morbid people. Not to be morbid. But he doesn't make it out of the shot alive. So we have blacked him out. And the blackout will move because, well, frankly, he moves. But there should be no visible portion of him during the shot. Because the focus isn't on Charlie Kirk. The focus is on Danny Phillip. Particularly the last 2 seconds of the video. But I want to remind you that Mikey McCoy was standing on Charlie's back left in a long sleeve shirt. It was 91 degrees outside. He had on a long sleeve shirt and a backpack. The reason I raised the issue of Mikey McCoy wearing a backpack is because Danny Phillip also wearing a backpack. Why? Why? He's standing like 10 feet from the SUV he came in. Maybe 10 feet, maybe closer, I don't know. Like, he came in the farthest back SUV. The event is going to last at least 2 hours. Then you got cleanup. Why are you wearing your backpack? Put your backpack in the car. Why did you get your backpack out of the car? Frank Turek didn't get his back out of the car. Frank Turek, if you remember famously, he said his bag was full of blood. His bag had the necklace in it. His bag was in between the bucket seat. His bag was in the car. Why would it not be in the car? Your car is behind a police line. It's safe. It's secure. What do you have in the backpack? That you have to have access to it. You can't walk 10 feet away to get it. I'll also note that Danny Phillip is to Charlie's right. Mikey McCoy to Charlie's left. Danny Phillip
Can't do what I really want to because I'm wearing shorts.
Now, Mikey McCoy's over here on the left with
I'm gonna flash my key watch.
Junior, Blake Neff.
I wanna lean my leg back like this.
He's down. Danny Phillip is standing with Butch Hibbs. Butch Hibbs.
Not bad for a nearly 50-year-old woman.
Maybe old. Butch Hibbs also weirdly dressed head to toe, long sleeve flannel shirt. I mean, he looks like he's going camping in Montana in late October. He wasn't. But I always wondered, why is he wearing a backpack? Why was Mikey McCoy wearing a backpack? Why were they separated? Now, you'll recall, I don't know if she just said it or not, but it was in that clip. I should have let her keep going if she didn't say it. But they're going to take it. If you listen to her show, she will go over the call log that Erica Kirk provided for Mikey McCoy. Remember, the call log was something of an issue early on in the case, in the fall. In the call log, Mikey McCoy and Danny Phillip, talk on the phone at 12:02. So they talk on the phone at 12:02. Charlie arrives at 12:06, and they go stand on opposite sides of the both in back. And then Charlie gets taken down, and they both flee the scene. Or you know, Mikey does. I'm not 100% sure Danny does. But they both separate. And then 10 minutes later, Danny calls Mikey back. Why? Why? What's up with all the calls? Why are you calling before? Why are you calling after? Why are you wearing back? Why are you standing on opposite sides? You're a longtime friend of these people? You just choose to stand off by your side with Butch Hibbs? It's a weird scenario. But I want to take you to the scene of the crime now because I want to watch with you.
What's up, survival?
Does
The dumbbells are on the
Danny
floor.
Phillips do at the
Thanks,
big
Kaylee.
moment? So
I
keep
like
in
your
mind,
last
this
name.
is edited, so if you've not seen it, you're going to see nothing here. There's no reason to avert your eyes, but and I think we
Everybody does.
I'm not 100% sure about that. So this is showing a 45-second clip. It's not really 45 seconds. I'll explain why in just a second.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Let me make sure the box is clear. Yeah, it does. Okay. So I'll keep going. I just got nervous when I didn't see the box. This is Danny Phillips. See under the where it says prove me wrong, and there's a lightning bolt separating the two. Prove me wrong, prove me wrong. Under the VE of the second prove, not the prove behind the speaker, but the prove over here on the right-hand side of the tent facing us, it says prove. You go to the VE and you look down, that handsome fella there in a
Oh, it's bigger than that side. I gotta start working,
the
figuring out how
giant
to
next to him, that's Butch Hibbs. The guy
holster
giving the
my
baseball signals
shoulders.
here, that's Dan Flood.
Do you know how many mass shooters?
Well, the second guy giving the baseball signal, Frank Turk, just gave the
Figure
first
out how to
one.
do it. There we
Oh,
go.
all right,
There we
maybe
go.
not, Frank. Maybe you're just adjusting your hat for the first time. So now we're slowing it down. And the reason I want to slow it down is I'm looking here. Notice Danny Phillip turns and looks behind the tent. I wish I could zoom in. Can I zoom in? Oh, yeah, a little bit. I can zoom in a little bit. So notice Danny has now turned and he's looking behind the tent. We come back, he's not looking behind the tent.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been?
Frank gives the signal, or no, I'm sorry. Frank. Frank decides he needs to adjust his ball cap and scratch his cheek, and Danny Phillip turns to look behind the tent. I want to kill myself. I still get squeamish with this. This is not easy to watch. So now you have
We must increase our bust.
Doing something completely inexplicable. All his weight is on his right foot. You know, when you're coaching baseball, you talk about weight being on the middle of your foot, weight being on the back of your foot, weight being in the front of your foot, weight being on your right foot, weight being on your left foot. It's like when you approach a ground ball, your weight shifts and rolls forward. I have no idea why he decided to go from, this is not about Dan Flood, but I'm going to say it's not looking at it. So his
I'm
weight is
trying
on
to
his
activate
foot
this
on
muscle
both feet, right?
and this muscle,
But
so
then when he
on both
steps
sides.
forward,
So no,
his weight goes all to
I
his
do
right
one at a
foot.
time
You can
sometimes,
see his back
and
foot
now
is
I can
bent,
do them
not
both at
weight
the
bearing
same time.
forward.
It's been
His
I've been
weight is
building
all
up
the way over
the
the
strength
middle,
in this
maybe
arm for a
even
whole
the
year
front of his right
to
foot.
be able to
Like, he's
work
leaning.
them out evenly. Like I
But
have
that's
never
not
been
what
able
we're talking
to
about. I wanna talk about Dan Phillips.
work
So
my
Dan
arms
Phillips
at
looked
the
behind
same
tent.
tension and
Now he
resistance
looks
and reps
back at Charlie
before.
Kirk.
Only in like the last 3 or 4 days. So I'm
There's
taking
the
advantage of being able to do them
box,
both at
which
the same
indicates
time
a
while I
bang is
can.
happening.
Also, this is like
There's the flinch. You
honestly
see
one of the
Danny
best ways to, you know,
Go back. Watch Danny
increase
flinch here.
your
Danny
chest
Phillips
muscles.
is again under the VE and the second prove right here to the right of the lightning bolt. He's in the backpack. He gives a little flinch. Watch his eyes. Everyone in the crowd goes aghast. Everyone in the crowd reacts. Not Danny. Not Danny. Danny looks right at the Losi Center room. You see that? Danny just looks right up at the Losi Center roof, cool as a cucumber. This girl in front of the black box is falling backward.
I cannot believe how big that muscle
You
is
have
now.
people grabbing their head. In the
So
cobra
strong.
pose.
Oh, yeah.
You have mouths open. You have people down here turning. Danny
I have a
Phillips,
frozen
the
shoulder,
killer,
which
looks
is
up the
why
Losi
I've been
Center.
working on my left shoulder so much. So, if you look,
What do we know
my
about
left
the Losi
shoulder
Center?
will not go up. Well, my left shoulder will not go up without the arm turning like this and then raising up. So this arm,
There's nobody in the house that has a better view. than
I'm
Danny
trying to do
Phillips.
the exact
He is
same
perfectly
thing,
in line with the Losi
and I
Center.
cannot do it with my
Almost
left
two
arm.
with the Losi Center.
Now, if I want to go any higher,
Just
see, it's
coolly,
trying to do that.
coolly looked up.
It wants to
If you
turn
were
like
to
that
call a
and
witness
then
that
raise
said,
itself
"Oh, I
up.
saw the Losi Center, I
But
saw
that's not
that."
right. It needs to
There's
just
only
go
one person I would call.
straight up.
The only person I saw in the whole facility looked directly
But
at
it
the
won't.
Losi Center.
It's got to turn in order to
Danny
go
Phillips.
up. So I've been working on it. It's actually
There was
changing.
one other guy who looked at the Losi
It's a
Center
lot better
and
than it
decided
used to
that
be.
video. That's Philip Goldberg Jr. The guy who
Hello,
sees
darling.
just before the bang, and then before he takes off, looks up at the Losi Center and then takes off.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
But Baron, are you saying definitively
Baron.
Philip planned this? No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that at all. But I'm suggesting Danny Phillip was cool as a cucumber in that moment. Cooler than the other side of the pillar. He did not have any trouble whatsoever with what was happening. One more thing I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think it's kind of. Man. I think if you're trying to get a grasp of the facts, the on the ground facts that day, I can't think of a better witness in the moment, in the immediate vicinity, than Danny Phillip. He either heard something from the Losi Center roof, in which case he would be great evidence for the sped slot narrative that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk from the Losi Center roof with a 30-06 or somebody. Or he saw a guy up there get up and run away. But I want to know what made him look like. Why were you so cool and calm?
That hurt holding them still so long.
If I'm sitting here and then I look, I'm just going to casually look up at the Losi Center?
Yep, look at me doing right by my mental health,
I don't know.
exercising.
I would also ask why
Instead
we
of, like,
backpacks. This is particularly relevant in light of and I'm
sex,
not gonna play it
drugs.
because the show will get out of control if I start playing all this stuff. We just gotta assume some knowledge. The testimony the other day was at the preliminary hearing that
No, just a miserable, judgmental person who has nothing better to do with themselves but scroll on YouTube and complain about other people.
gloves, jacket,
It's how some people are. They have no life and they just want to do this to make themselves feel better.
91 degrees.
They think being nasty to other people will make their life better in some way, but unfortunately it won't. Only
We're
you
talking about like Winnipeg.
can prevent forest
We're talking
fires.
about Utah. It was hot. It was sunny. Not gloves and jacket. And then we were told that the FBI collected it because of
That muscle you see on this side, that's the new
And they
muscle that keeps
called off
jumping
the
like
DNA
that.
search of it because they
It's trying to
determined
figure
it
out how to
belonged
work.
one of Charlie Kirk's security team. Dude, the library's nowhere close to Charlie Kirk's security team. It's on the other side of campus. If one of Charlie Kirk's security team was at the library,
There it goes. Good job. Good job.
it was at the bus stop. Did they
Didn't
they
spaz
hail
out
the
that
cab?
time.
They waved down the blue and the green and white wagon that was riding around campus that day.
That was hard. When it spazzes like that, it's not activating properly. It needs to be slow, and it needs to activate slow and release slow.
I hope they can DNA tested. I'm very curious who it was. Was it one of Charlie Kirk's security teams? Was it one of these two backpacks that we see? Whatever happened to those backpacks? But I don't want to spend too much time asking about the backpack. Do I want to do that one yet? Yeah, I think. All right. We were told en masse, we were told that the preliminary hearing featured 4K HD footage. Now, those people have all been shamed, but there are people who still believe it. Jack Posobiec walks out, 4K, crystal clear, HD, plain as day. Benny Johnson, but he's not being Benny Johnson. Not last name for Benny Johnson. But when he's not out there carousing,
Johnson's
he
appropriate last name.
He's crystal clear, 4D, HD.
Jesus
quality,
loves us all.
Image on 4K HD quality, plain as day.
But, you know,
Case
Jesus did
closed.
die many, many years ago, so
Someone on
it's kind of
Twitter
hard for
actually
him, literally, physically, the human
Faith
that was
Driver?
Jesus, to have any
Faith
kind of
Driver on Twitter,
cognitive
found this
abilities.
Video of the deputy director. of
His
the
human
FBI
body disappeared
talking
long
about
ago.
that very video. How crystal clear was this video? We've got Bongina! Dan Bongina has viewed that very video. And he had strong opinions on how crystal clear that video was. This is the same video. Brandon Tatum, Benny Johnson, Jack Posobiec, and all the Fed sloppers walked out of court and lied to your face, telling you how crystal clear it was.
The video is obviously grainy.
No, I'm obviously grainy. What? No, I didn't. Let me, maybe I got that. I could have taken it out of context. It is Dan Bongina. He likes to talk. Maybe
Can't believe the left side is
great,
bigger than the
but
right
it's still
side right
kind
now.
of
Hold on.
It's kind
There
of
we go.
HD. You can see exactly what's going on. There's no question. Open and shut case. So I apologize, Mr. Bongina. I did not mean
This is so
to
weird.
go ahead.
Like, what
The
is that?
video is obviously grainy, and as folks in the video space know out there, we have a number of really excellent tools in our lab, which is
My left arm is almost as big as my right arm. I'm getting there.
For days now. But the video is
Almost.
very great, and I want to be very clear. I don't want to, there was, I've already seen small line chart. Yeah, I can see it on the screen.
No,
You'll
all
see
these
it's a
people
great
are
video.
new.
Now,
Regina.
I've been on that roof in that
All of
corner,
you do not have
and
to
when you
delete
see the
people. Honest to
camera
God, that's how I,
distance
that's,
away,
those
it's
trolls,
clearly not
that's how I make
visible.
money.
Now, let me just go back to what I said.
They comment shit like that, and literally their ad revenue, I get ad revenue from, you know, YouTube Premium and all that stuff. So you can leave people who are just being miserable cunts if they say something sexual, perverted, rude, like, you know, the nasty shit, or if they like are just trying to make everyone argue and it's like it gets getting old, then delete them. But other than that, you know, I'm a free speech absolutist. Everyone is allowed to be stupid. Let them show us who they are. Let us see how stupid they are. When they open their mouth, you literally are like, oh, okay. Let them. Put the drama from great job and free. Arms and exhale, inhale, but you're doing a great job, my friend. You're the best, dude. I love you so much. I'm so glad that you're here. I've missed you. It's been a while. I'm glad that you're here. My bus is where I used to live in my bus. I want to go swimming before summer is over. I have a hole in my eardrum, so I have to put earplugs in my ears, but that's okay, because I will do that. See, that's what I'm saying. You just make these comments, rel, and you guys, you're wrong, like, every time. It's so funny. Nope, I ain't gonna show y'all shit.
Before. And
Let
I
these
don't let me
retards
forget the good
be
portion.
retards.
Because I just want to watch this for a second. You'll see here.
For real though,
Yeah,
I've made
there's a
double
couple different what we call-
YouTube money this
All right,
month
there you go.
because of
So
all the
you see there's
retards.
some-
Down off the listening audience, he's getting down off the roof, he hangs for a couple seconds, he drops to the floor, to the grass, and
Yes.
then he runs. Go ahead, Jim.
Sorry, I forget to.
Either way, it's a disgusting
Then
thing
he's
to
not
say.
backing off of it. I kind of half expected
know
when I started watching
what
it.
in the
It's okay,
pornification
great,
you
but
think
we
is
know
going on
exactly
around
what's
here.
happening Because we actually have a crystal
disgusting.
clear HD 4K quality.
Oh yeah, no, this obviously really disgusting, overtly sexual. Get them out,
Instead, he doubles down, triples down on this
you
one.
know.
It's
But
very great.
people just picking on me,
In fact, it's submarine.
I've got a
Probably
kink
knows
for
what's going
being
on. We don't
bullied.
even know.
That shit makes me like happy.
Sometimes there's an audio on this is a photo media person. I forget there's an audio component.
Yes.
But watch it.
Tell me
Camera's
more.
quite far away. It's not the best camera to see exactly what happened to the guns.
Oh man!
You've been here like 5 seconds, really, for you.
The camera's very full.
You don't know what anybody's
It's
talking
not
about.
the best camera to see what's going on.
Also, have you ever been here before?
Don't tell Benny. Don't let Jack and Brandon hear that. Officer Tater Top's gonna be so sad to know that it's grainy video. You're letting the cat out of the bag, sir.
However, so we have some working theories, and one of them is that he drops the firearm fully assembled onto the ground and then retrieves it. Now, the firearm we're processing in conjunction with our ATF friends. The firearm was wrapped in a towel, and
then it goes on to say, well, we have the DNA. Great, we appreciate it. Thank you, Deputy Director.
Thanks, Jesse. That's so sweet.
Clarify. Now, crystal clear, HD 4K. Oh, that's not.
They
How
sure
grainy
do.
the video is. So grainy you can barely tell what's going
Okay,
on.
I gotta
he's
go
got
get something to
his
drink.
gun, he dropped the gun, and he hold the gun, what's the gun? We can't tell. The video's
Let's
very
go
far
get
away.
some water. See if I can find a remote to throw. Oh, God. My legs are sore. Climbing downstairs is treacherous. Look at my beautiful fucking house. My beautiful little fruits. Dum 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 dum. I need tea. I need you. Show me the way. I want you. Thanks, Donnell. Oh, dang it. Are you ever gonna end? My God. salty. My feet are like, oi, 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 oi. I got baby feet. They're all grippy on the floor. I got like frog feet. My feet are so soft, they're like frog feet now. Ooh, it's cold in this motherfucker. Nope, not on any drugs. Just trying to get through drinking all that liquid without vomiting.
Obviously not a good video. Obviously not a good video. Well, you didn't have to tell us that. We're very, we're very. I will go back because he does actually even crap on the camera even more, and I don't want to interrupt him on in his prime.
We have to be careful what we put out. The video is not best quality. It's not, and for no other reason than it's, the video was.
That Annie's having.
Maybe your tummy will be better by lunch.
Hello, my great big beautiful family of 9. Welcome back. This is Seventh Heaven Season 4. If you're unfamiliar with the story of Seventh Heaven, here's a quick little blurb. Seventh Heaven is about a Christian family with a dad who's a reverend. Dad's named Eric, mom is named Annie. Then we got the kids, Matt, Mary, Ruthie, Simon, Lucy. That's not the right order. Matt, Mary, Lucy, Simon, Ruthie, David, Sam. 7 children. Their ages this season, Matt is 20 to 21, Mary is 17, Lucy is 16, Simon is 13, Ruthie is 8 or 9, and the twins are 1, somewhere in there, somewhere around 1. Season 4
Because the person who tattooed me that day, my friend Heather, decided that's what she was going to tattoo on me that day.
Because this is the first season they actually paid attention to
how that went.
Almost like too much.
Didn't see what it was until after it was long done.
Makes sense a little bit later. The show has also become progressively less preachy.
Same thing with this
and
tattoo.
More dramatic. So much drama. So this should be fun. Shauna, who was involved in a crazy love triangle with Matt at the end of last season, is actually a regular character this season. Like, she's written in, she's the real deal, she's a big deal. This is the first season where Matt has had
And that one.
girlfriend. Well, we'll get to that, but one girlfriend the entire time for the most part, unlike previous seasons where he had
I just let her
love interests that
do whatever
would
she wanted.
disappear on a whim. Anyway, let's get into it. Season
Do
4.
I have a job? Do people not work or something? Is that like a common, like I must be in like some parallel universe? But doesn't like everybody have a job? Or like, doesn't everyone own a business?
Because of this, the Colonel specifically has become
I mean, I guess I've owned my own business for so long that I must be like in some ivory tower.
And they're supposedly better
I own my own
people now, and they
business.
show us this by having them react to
I own
the news
multiple
about
income
Julie
streams.
being pregnant. At the end of last
Little
season,
ones, they're not
after
like great
Annie
big
gave
ones.
birth to the twins,
But it's enough to
Julie,
keep me
Eric's
alive.
sister, started dating Hank, who was Annie's OBGYN, who helped deliver the twins. They started dating and then got pregnant and married all within the span of like a couple of months. Pretty fast. They moved pretty freaking fast. And it's apparent in this season that they got married too fast because their relationship is dramatic, childish, and toxic, to say the very least. Anyway, Julie is pretty freaking pregnant at this point, and she has yet to announce to her parents that she's pregnant and also that she's married.
The Colonel and Grandma Ruth don't know that she's
Question
married.
is no. I wonder why Shane got a job.
Everyone's scared that they're gonna freak
What?
out. Understandably, because Colonel and Ruth have a track record of being some of the worst parents to ever exist.
I'm mighty anxious to meet this new boyfriend of hers, see how she is at making choices when she's sober.
What is
And yes,
Shane?
traveling the world has supposedly changed
Are you
them into
speaking
better
English?
people.
Your grandfather died.
Are you voice texting, but you're just like not really speaking
Individual freedom
English?
are being lost.
But still, Colonel is insistent that his daughter needs to
you
break up
clarify?
with her boyfriend and move
I'm
back
autistic.
in with
Explain it to me
him
like
and
I'm
Ruth
5.
so that she can tutor their adoptive son.
No, I will not become your
George.
friend. I'm sorry.
Julie will dump this new boyfriend of hers and come back to New York to tutor George.
She's like for sure in her late 30s at least, and they're like trying to control her life still. Yeah, excellent changes. Good job, parents.
Individual freedoms are being lost.
The Camden family, our big beautiful family of 9, they all obviously know about Julie getting married and being pregnant. They were there for
Stretching
all of that. They
and
collectively decided
using
that they're
muscles
not
in
allowed
my
to talk about
shoulder
this to
that
the
I don't
grandparents,
normally
but of
utilize
course, all
that
of the
need to
kids
be
spill the
strong
information to the
in order for me to
grandparents.
continue making my
Did you tell
arm
him
muscles bigger.
Define everything. I told George. I'm sure he told them by now.
No,
Which ends up being kind of a
there
good
is no
thing,
hope.
because when Hank and Julie reveal the information that they are pregnant and married,
Hank, Dr. Hastings, Julie's.
Julie's husband.
I took a
Colonel
bath
and Ruth
yesterday.
Are really chill about it.
You've never looked more beautiful. Congratulations. Marriage, a baby, I mean, this is the right stuff.
Like, of course, my daughter married a freaking doctor. Why would I be mad about that? I have a feeling they were warned.
My parents have been abducted by aliens.
So I guess we're all good on that front. At the beginning of the episode, there's some very important things that are pointed out. Both George and Simon have new hairstyles.
Where are your manners? Your cap's still on. There are ladies present.
I love how Simon's just wearing a hat.
No, I would never try
And
that
his
ever.
mom is so shocked that he got a haircut, as if he got a haircut without her knowing about it. How would he have done that?
Hey, kids.
We are reminded who George is in a very silly way.
But you remember your uncle, my adopted brother George?
Yes.
You have to say my adopted brother.
Yes, we all remember.
We all
George
remember.
the orphan.
I'm George. The orphan.
We all also remember when we found out that George wasn't actually an orphan because his dad was doing some
Doubt you can. If you could smell me, you would smell the smell of rose, ivory. Is it ivory or I think it's either ivory or Dove.
We're gonna all move out east with the Colonel and Ruth and live together. And
'Cause
Julie
that's what
was
I
gonna
smell
go with
like.
them, and she did an impromptu road trip across the country with George's dad, and there was going to be some kind of romance blossoming between them. But then George's dad disappeared, and we've never seen him since then. And now it's like kind of like George's dad really never existed at all. Yeah, I remember that. Wait, what did you guys do to George's dad? Also, I find it very silly that they're reintroducing George as if they haven't seen him. But like, didn't they see him when he came to the front door? Did he not show up until just now? And what the is going on with his hair? What the is this mop of a wig? Why do they do
It's
this?
the start
They
of
actually do
dreadlocks.
address the wig later when they're trying to show how Colonel and Ruth have become better people.
Then how come you're letting me wear my hair like this? I look stupid.
Yes, your wig does look stupid, George. Please don't do that again.
Everyone should have the freedom to look stupid, son. That's
That's right.
C'est la vie. Travel has changed us, darling.
That's why I have
Try to show
tattoos on my
this
face.
message that
'Cause
Colonel
America.
changed, but I hate the way they've done it.
I'm gonna
It's
say
in
that
such
every
a,
time
like,
anybody
abusive,
asks me that again.
gaslighting kind of way.
You were dreading telling me about Julie. I don't understand that, son. When did I get to be the bad guy?
Why didn't you feel like you could tell me things? When did I become the bad guy? I don't know. When you were the bad guy?
The little girl, what's her name?
Lucy.
You know, she talks more than
Stains
Eric
on the wall.
does. If
Dunno.
I get cornered like that again,
I just moved in here
I'm going
like a
to
month ago,
swallow a
so.
Hawkeye anti-armor bomb and throw myself out a window.
Oh,
There's a reason
shit.
your kids don't want to tell you shit, and it's your fault. Oh,
Money would not tolerate that.
Impression that these little things would upset us.
We're sorry if we ever gave you the impression.
Oh god, it's so the gaslighting is nuts. There's also this little monologue the Colonel gives about how controlling men make the world better, which is insane.
Control is not necessarily a bad thing. The world would be nowhere if it weren't for men like us who try to control things.
Coming from someone who's dated a controlling man or two, no.
As the kids would say, we're control freaks.
Matt decides it's time for him to finally move into his own place, and he and John Hamilton decide to get an apartment together. They find the most horrible, terrible apartment.
This place is great.
They're very excited about it, but Matt now needs to get a job to help pay for this horrible apartment. Matt's sisters talk to Hank, telling him that Matt needs a job, and Hank finds a job for Matt that day.
I asked around. It turns out the hospital cafeteria has an opening.
And tells him he's gonna be starting the next morning at 5 a.m.
Okay, 5 in the morning, I'll be there.
Ask for Dot.
All right, thank you.
What? Hey Hank, I need a job. Great. Can you start
No,
at
I
5
would
a.m.
not
tomorrow?
cut my hair for
That's a
$10 million.
beautiful job.
Okay, and I'll be there.
There's a very important plot point in this episode that will be talked about and carried through to the end of this season.
Yeah, my house
it
is
begins
clean.
with Eric
It's
having
not an apartment.
really weird
It's a
visions
house.
of himself talking to somebody in a hospital.
Don't worry, it's all gonna be fine.
We are also shown throughout this episode the amount of things that Eric has taken onto his plate, which I've talked about this before. The man puts way too much on his plate. He makes things his business that really shouldn't be his business. One, telling his parents about Julie's pregnancy. Not your job, bud. His best friend, who's Sergeant Michaels, a police officer, has him help out with telling people about tragic events. So in this episode, he's told he needs to go help tell a family about somebody getting stabbed.
A police officer got stabbed in a drug bust, and he wants you to go with him to tell the wife before it gets in the news.
Why is that Eric's job now? Additionally, he offers to pick up Mrs. Hinkle's blood pressure medication for her.
And drop it off for you. No problem. Okay.
I don't think Eric's job is the problem. I think Eric is the problem. Eric really needs to learn what boundaries are. Big time. This is his biggest issue.
Not to mention 27 people in counseling, speaking of which, I better get down to the church.
This all culminates to a point where right after Julie announces her pregnancy to Colonel and Ruth, Eric has a heart attack. Yeah.
I think I'm having a heart attack.
And when he's in the hospital, he realizes that he had all these visions of him in the hospital talking to himself.
Really, it's gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine.
Nice. Eric's stress levels and lack of boundaries and terrible relationship with his parents has led to him having a heart attack. Very fun, very wholesome and uplifting. Yes, we love this show. The episode ends with Eric in the hospital saying thanks to God.
So tired of these little
Thank you very
muscles.
much. For tomorrow.
Thank you for tomorrow. This episode was such a nothing burger. It was so low energy and just nothing. It was just nothing, except I guess Eric had a freaking heart attack, and that was something. Episode 2 entirely revolves around the fact that Eric had a heart attack, and Eric is experiencing what his children so lovingly call post-heart attack insanity.
Well, if you want to call it that.
Post-heart attack insanity. Eric is just so grateful to be alive that he is a little bit delusional. Maybe delusional isn't the right word. He's just very, carefree.
Do you remember me? Do Lord, oh do Lord, oh do remember me? Wah, wah, wah.
Eric is seeing the world for the first time. He is like an actual toddler.
You know, electricity is an amazing technology.
Yes, it's amazing. What are you doing?
That's how I feel.
Now I'm standing.
Well,
Now I'm sitting again.
One night
not
he
so much
lays
like that,
down
but
outside
a lot
on
about
their
the
little
electricity and
patio
stuff.
table and is just singing at the top of his lungs. This causes their nosy church neighbor lady, Mrs. Beaker, to come over and start gossiping with Annie.
You know, I heard that there was some sort of disturbance last night.
To which Annie gets a little bit hoity-toity, I will not stoop to gossiping. I will not.
You know, Mrs. Beaker, I don't gossip, and I don't like gossip.
Mrs. Beaker, who, to be fair, is quite the town gossip, relays to Annie that she just wants to be her friend.
You know, Annie, sometimes people gossip because they're trying to make a friend.
And she just wants to help.
It's just that I don't have that much time to talk.
Of course not. There's probably laundry and ironing and cooking and all of my favorite things to do.
Annie invites Mrs. Beaker into the house, and she ends up helping a lot with things around the house while Eric is kind of out of commission at the moment, needing to rest from his traumatic experience. Something really funny that happens is that Mary needs help with her trigonometry. Eric normally helps Mary with math, but because they're trying to let Eric rest, Annie is the one who volunteers to help Mary with her math homework. This leads to probably one of my favorite moments in the entire season when Annie and Mary are crying over the math homework because they can't figure out how to do it.
I can't do trigonometry. What am I supposed to do? I don't know.
That killed me. That was really good. Luckily, Mrs. Beaker knows how to do trigonometry, and she is able to help Mary in the end. Lucy is fighting her boy addiction with Grace.
What has made you feel the most confident and happy with who you are? Boys. They count. I could have told me that.
She has become fully aware of her problem. Well, I don't know if I'd even call it that. I mean, they say Lucy's like severely addicted to boys, but that was more like season
Didn't
one.
think I was gonna
Season
make that
two,
one.
maybe. But honestly, Lucy's been pretty level-headed the last few seasons. She's one of the more like mature, level-headed people in the family. Lucy joins Habitat for Humanity in order to just do something good for the world and find fulfillment for herself, which I love that for her. Lucy is my favorite character, I think. She's becoming my favorite. As I alluded to earlier, Shauna is still in the picture. She and Matt are dating, very much in love. At least they say they are. Their relationship this season is a whole bunch of ups and downs, and I don't really know what to think about it. I didn't really love Shauna from the beginning, and I still don't really love Shauna that much. She's kind of, the worst. We'll get to that though. She's not the worst yet, but she's on the path of becoming the worst. Matt has been super busy with work and school. And
Yes, Hippo, that's why I'm doing it. I'm like, you know, I'm almost 50.
John, Matt's roommate, starts befriending Shauna.
I have to
They
make
get
sure
all
that
chatty,
I
and then Matt
stay
starts getting super
strong.
jealous.
While I'm at the age I am right now, I'm at that place where I'm at a fork in the road. I could either choose to be weak in my old age, or I could choose to be strong in my old age. And I'm at that age where I no longer can just be like, oh, later, later, later. It's now. It's now or never. So it's now. Also, I tend to go through like little spurts of like hyperfixation. So around this time in the summer, usually I hyperfixate on exercise. I have a very strenuous and physical job.
Transform your roof this winter. No thanks. I don't own a
I
roof.
do like, you know, 6 to 8 hours of like intense physical exertion. Some days are more intense than others, but
We love that.
today wasn't a terrible day. Yesterday was. Yesterday I was like knee deep in mud, hauling fucking logs out of a fucking creek bed, and we fucking got a tree stump that had a big root ball on it, hauled that out. I was like literal horsepower yesterday, pulling logs out like this. So that's why I gotta be strong. It's my job. I have to be able to perform as well as a man would in my very physical, like outdoor job. I do some landscaping, some groundskeeping. I do some, you know, like right now we're taking an area that was heavily wooded and we're taking everything out, trees, bushes, everything, down to the ground, everything.
Rather be in wood shop because there are more guys in there. And wood. Men love wood.
He gives a whole speech about how much men love wood.
The smell of wood, the look of wood, the way it looks when it's varnished, the way it crackles in a fire, the way it can be as flexible and airy as a piece of kite paper.
Turns out though, apparently, Simon is like a god at baking, one of the best in the class. He makes phenomenal snickerdoodles, I've heard.
And as it turns out, I'm some sort of a super chef, and now everyone's treating me like I'm one of the girls.
He does end up moving into wood shop, which I think is kind of lame because he's really good at cooking, and it would have been
You're really desperate. Hey, everybody, Halloween Kieran wants you to know they were served a turd on their plate and they've smelled it and tasted it. And yep, it's definitely a big, juicy, stinky turd. Halloween Kieran wants you to know that it's on the plate. Just look at it. Look how stinky it is. But look at Halloween Kieran eating it all the same. Look, everybody. Look at me. Look at me. Everybody look. Can't you see that this thing is a big shit? But here I am. Watch me consume it. If you don't like me, swipe away, idiot. But no, not you. You're just like, I don't like this, so let me continue eating it. This is... Yeah, that's on you, bro. We think you're an idiot. So... I'm sorry that you're just jealous and miserable, and this is what you're choosing to do with your free time, but you're alone, all alone, literally. Look around you. Nobody wants to talk to you. No one wants to hang out with you. Just look at yourself. We don't want to hang out with you either, but we're going to let you continue talking your shit because every comment that you give I earn a little tiny bit of money, so please
And laundry and childcare.
continue
And the man of this
telling
relationship
us.
is just a straight up, flat out misogynist.
And I will be responsible for bringing home the paycheck, deciding how that money is spent, and when it's time for us to have children.
Eric tries to talk to this guy about how he's being the worst and specifically calls out the word obey, which I think is really interesting.
Love, honor, and obey. What's to discuss? For one thing, there's that pesky word, obey.
In the religion I was raised in,
No.
obedience was a really big deal. Like, the most important thing you could be is obedient.
What did I say? That was wrong. That was not just the hard
To your
truth.
parents, to your leaders, you obey, and you obey without question. Obedience.
When you
is
act like that, no one wants to be around you.
virtuous. If you are obedient, you are good.
Obviously,
And
that's not a
I
person
1,000,000%
whose
disagree
life
with
is,
that.
that's obviously, because see, here's the thing. If that was a happy person who was thriving, who had good relationships with people because they treated people well, they would literally just not do that at all. So the type of person who would do something like comment 37 times talking shit and just trying to be an asshole is someone who already has nothing going on for themselves. So what am I saying that wasn't true? If it hurts your feelings, and or, you know, if it hurts his feelings or whatever, then maybe he should change the way he behaves, and the people around will respond to that. Might have ruined it with the people you've already encountered, but you can encounter new people.
I think that obedience is virtue. I don't think that
Ain't got nothing to say now. Okay.
Because obedience, if you want people
Sorry.
to obey your law or your rules or whatever, you need to earn the respect from people to obey you. You need to give them the reasons why they need to be obeying.
Literally,
It's
Amy
not
Lynn, they
just,
don't get to
"I'm
me
in
at all.
charge, obey me."
Like I have a, I enjoy, I literally, I mean, I like to say, it's not on literal, I don't literally have a kink because that's gross and I'm not a sexual person at all. But, I don't want to be touched. I don't want to have sex. I don't want to have an orgasm. I don't want to be anything like that. But, what was I going to say? Oh, damn, I lost my train of thought because I started thinking about my water. Whatever, it's not important. Who cares about those people? Moving on.
Really misogynistic and controlling views. This couple decides to fire Eric.
Oh, what do I want to do now?
Ryan's mom shows up at Eric's house and is like, "Oh my god, I have got some tea for you, boy." Apparently,
I want to have
Ryan's
strong
dad is
back
also,
muscles
like,
too, so I'm
hugely
trying to get the
misogynistic
back of my
POS.
shoulders.
She tells Eric that Ryan and Ryan's
Feels like they're
father
getting
treat
there.
her, Ryan's mother, like a mentally challenged housekeeper. Those are the words that she uses. Ryan and my
I'm definitely not a badass.
challenged housekeeper. She was waiting until after her son gets married to file for divorce with her current husband. She also explains to Eric how she was manipulated into feeling like
Also, people who idolize Halloween are also a whole, like, you know, I have this theory, I mean, well, it's not just my theory, but physiognomy is a thing. And also, like, the way people, the nicknames people choose for themselves on social media is actually quite telling about their insecurities, their fears, their desires. So people who like idolize Halloween, for example, jack-o'-lanterns or like Jack Skellington, you know, these like goth adjacent people, or people who are like, you know, like idolize morticians, and people who like are really interested in true crime stuff, or are like Disney adults, you know. These people, they all have a like a specific way of behaving, and that's why they're drawn to Disney adulting. That's why they're like, certain people, like everyone who is a politician is a sociopath, okay? Because people who are drawn to a life of politics have a certain way of thinking, a certain way of being and moving through the world. So it's, you know, it's kind of how, like, you know, creepazoids try to get jobs where they could be close to children. there's a reason for that. Well, I'm almost there. America first. So, but see, you're a douche, but we could be on the same team right now. But you're just walking around being a fucking asshole for no reason because of the way I look. When actually we should be on each other's team because fuck the people in control that are destroying our society and the middle class. But no, you're gonna be a douche. I'll take a bath whenever I fucking want, and it's not up to you to tell me what to do with myself, you loser, pathetic douche. All you're doing every time you comment Halloween, Kieran, is you're just reaffirming to everyone in the room that you have absolutely no self-control. You've made it very clear that you don't like me, you don't like what I am, you think I'm all these things, right? And yet you continue to announce to the room, here you are. Everybody here, for the most part, let's assume, has self-control. And so if we were sitting here, like I said earlier, if someone fucking served me a sandwich with a giant fucking turd on it, do you think that I would look around the room and say, oh my God, does my sandwich have a turd on it? And then smell it and then taste it, take a bite of it, gag while I'm taking a bite, and then be like, yes, everybody, this sandwich definitely is a giant honking turd on it. Look, everybody, my sandwich has a turd on it. Everybody, look, everybody, my sandwich has a turd on it. But then you keep eating the sandwich and everybody's like, what are you doing? If you don't like it, you don't want it, why would you continue to consume it? Wouldn't you be like, oh, what the fuck is that? Screenshot, swipe away. You know? But not you. You just want to keep on eating that turd sandwich. Gobble, 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 gobble. I do not know anyone named Allison. And I didn't ever go through KCMO, I don't know what that is, or New Orleans. I went to New Orleans one time for a Skinny Puppy concert in like 2001. Was it you who tried to pickpocket my ex-boyfriend in line of his watch, and I caught you in the middle of it, and you tried to act like you didn't do anything? Because then yes. See how retarded Kieran is? It's just like right now today I happen to be standing here, but 99% of the time if you tune in, I literally am cleaning my house or someone else's house. I own a cleaning business. At least part of my business is cleaning. So you're just stupid and you just don't know what you're talking about. The more you say, the more we all are aware of how retarded you fucking are.
And I just have a question for
Okay, anyway.
Conversation with Ryan's mother. Eric,
I'm not gonna block you.
believe in divorce?
But
You've seen enough
how
evidence
do I?
There are good reasons for divorce, and it should definitely.
Oh, it won't let me mute.
Ryan's mom
Yeah,
calls
it
out
will.
Jessica,
Okay, I'll
tricks
just mute
her
you.
into coming to
So
Eric's
you
house.
just can't talk.
It's Betty.
But
Yes, I
you can
met,
watch
Reverend Camden's house,
and
and
cope
Ryan
and
asked me to
seethe.
join us. Jessica shows up and she's like, guys, I'm so sorry, but
Don't have TDS. I don't obsess over any politician because they're all pieces of shit. You can put anybody's name. Like, have you ever heard the thing choosing between a douche and a turd sandwich? You know, like all politicians suck.
Ryan shows up and is like asking Eric for help.
Not a single one of them is good for us. Oh, I don't want to exercise anymore. I'm tired.
Doesn't understand how his fiance could possibly not want to marry him, and Eric takes him in to help him and teach him, and it's like that's great, but men like this with a father like his, I think the damage has been done. I don't know if you can undo misogyny like that. I'm hopeful, but I don't know.
Did you tell Jessica she can't call off the wedding? Of course I told her she can't call off the wedding.
This guy's been trained to be a misogynist his entire life. You can't just undo that with a couple of conversations.
I know who my wife is. A wife is a man's servant, just like man is God's servant.
But maybe
Oh, my
this
back.
guy, because Eric does have magical powers that he's very good at using. The big part
Oh
is
yeah,
that
no, I
it's
never
like,
hopped trains. Nope,
oh,
not once in my
okay,
single
was
life.
about Annie.
I
Annie's
don't really like getting stabbed,
Annie's,
so
like,
that
outside
life
the
was
grocery
never for
store
me.
or something, and she sees a protest going
How many
on.
times have
In
you
this
been stabbed?
protest are some Muslim women wearing hijabs. One of them comes up to
Seriously.
Annie and gives her
Not
a
even kidding.
paper that talks about
You want to hop trains, you're probably going to get stabbed. So
Afghanistan, with women being very severely oppressed. Upon further
I have one friend who used to go by the name Krusty Vagabond, and
I would refer to this as a hijab, but
he would tell me stories, and that's all I've lived vicariously through him. Twice. Ha! See? Doesn't matter. You're still a hopper, which means you're the type of person to hang out with people who might stab you. It doesn't have to happen when you're hopping or not. It's just the type of person. I knew it. See? That's what I'm saying. Like, I know how people are. People are drawn, the type of, it's like politicians are sociopaths. Those type of people are drawn to that life. There's a specific type of person who is drawn to train hopping, and those are the type of people who will stab you and also steal your wallet and help you look for it. What, buddy? What do you want? What? Does Orly need to go outside, go potty? I bought ice cream. My freezer is not really working that well, so I bought ice cream. I have to eat it quickly, otherwise it's gonna go bad. Dude, I think I like shaved or cut my bangs one day while wearing this shirt because there are like little hair clippings or something in it. Do you wanna go outside? Damn, my muscles are sore. Come on. Come on. Come on, go outside, bud. You want a little bit of food, perhaps? I can give you a little bit of kibble, but only a little bit. Oh, God, jeez, don't fucking run or anything. Sheesh. Go for it. Go ahead. Look at that sweet boy. Look at that beautiful bean footage. I should maybe plug in this refrigerator because I have a feeling that I'm probably gonna need it. Jesus. There's my jars. It's still really cool in this refrigerator. That's crazy. Still plugged in. Oh, my goodness. I am transgender, and it really disappoints me that you would ask such a thing and you wouldn't even just know who I am, because I was the first transgender from a man to a woman to give birth through my neo vagina. And it's just really disappointing because, you know, This is like world changing science. The first ever transgender woman to give birth through my neo vagina. Hello, doll. Nope, Orly will not go upstairs. Be right back, I gotta pee.
Heart attack and needs to rest. He asks Annie to give the sermon in church, and Annie takes that opportunity to talk about Afghanistan and the suffering of women because of the Taliban.
The women of Afghanistan have been made shadows, and they cannot be heard because their voices have been silenced.
And earlier, when the boys were cooking dinner, the women were out in the protest for the women of Afghanistan. Annie finds Lucy in the protest. She says she's very proud. It's like, this is the least we can do.
The least we can do to try and raise awareness about this problem. You're right. It's the least we can do.
I don't understand. Like, literally, I just don't understand how holding signs and walking in a circle is helping women in Afghanistan. I feel like doing stuff like this in a small town in California is more virtue signaling than anything, but
I'll be right there.
if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being really obtuse about this issue and protesting actually does a lot of good, but I don't want to de-emphasize the importance of the issue. I just think the way it's being portrayed is very silly. The ultimate, like, pinnacle of what they do to help with this issue is walk around in a circle holding signs and talk about it in church. We're really fighting misogyny on this one. We're fighting back, okay? At the very least, the episode is spreading awareness.
The least we can do to try and raise awareness about this problem.
I wish there was more of like a concrete idea of what people could actually do to help, because as far as I'm aware, the Taliban and everything is still an issue in Afghanistan. I mean, maybe I'm really behind on world issues, but I don't think much has changed.
You're right.
If there is something we can actually do to help with this, let me know. Because I don't know. Nothing wrong with it. It's just a little preachy. Literally.
Because a group in Afghanistan called the Taliban has come to power.
Feminism. Let's go. I can't get over Simon's speech about wood.
Solid and unyielding is the oak hull of a mighty Viking ship.
It's just something else. It's really special.
What is the substance of our lives now?
They're free. Episode 4, we're finally solving an issue that's been talked about every single episode so far. Like I said, the continuity goes a little bit too far.
Are we going to look for a new car today?
I promise we'll look.
You've been saying that all summer, and driving the Meals on Wheels van is getting a little old.
Mom, when are we going to replace the station wagon?
When we have the time, when we get the doctor bills paid, you might want to notify the Meals on Wheels van's next of kin because it is officially dead.
The family needs a new car because
Okay, I'm coming.
their minivan, apparently, Mary has really bad luck with cars. In order to be able to afford a new car, Eric is going to need a raise from the church. So he approaches the church treasurer, Lou. Lou is like, oh, of course, we've got room in the budget. It'll be approved. No problem. You got your raise, thanks. Well, conflict happens.
Hold on, buddy. I'll be right there.
Ruthie to help Eric in picking out a new car.
Really? Just me and Daddy? You don't have to bring Sam and David?
While they're out looking at cars, Ruthie convinces Eric that it would be a great idea to try out and get a convertible sports car.
I'm coming, buddy. I'm gonna come let you out right now.
As they're driving around, they drive past the church. As Lou and the other board members of the church are walking out of their meeting where they just talked about budgets and stuff, they see Eric drive by and they're like, was that your Reverend?
Does Reverend Camden own a fancy convertible? I don't think so. What?
And then they drive back past the church again for some reason, like immediately.
You saw him driving. It must have been a mistake.
One more. All done.
Just so they could get a second look and be like, yeah, that's your Reverend.
All done.
In the
Food.
sports car. Then they decide, never mind, we're not going to give Eric a raise. No. Eric gets a call letting him know that his raise was vetoed. As he's telling Annie about it, Ruthie was listening in the closet. She decides to take her little bike and go down to the church and interrupt that meeting, which is happening again or still happening, or maybe it didn't happen. I don't know why these guys are always at the church. church. I don't know.
Dude,
what
I
meetings they
literally
have,
coming
but
upstairs
Ruthie
now,
shows
like,
up
what
in
the
time
hell?
for their budget meeting that hasn't happened apparently. And Ruthie puts her foot down. She
Okay.
explains what happened, and it all works out. Okay, Lou comes over to the house, apologizes to Eric,
Go
and is like,
outside
"I'm so
or
sorry.
go lay
Your
down."
daughter explained everything. You get your raise." And Ruthie picks out an electric minivan for them. They get an electric car in 1999. Also, in this episode, Matt is starting to realize he hates his job working in the cafeteria at the hospital.
I hate this job. I hate this job. I hate this job.
So let me ask you
Go lay down.
something. Do you hate this
I'm
job?
not coming back down here for a minute, so you're not gonna be able to get me to come right back out again.
Genetic disorder.
What are you in for?
You seem like a nice guy, so I'll give you the short version. I have what's known as MPS disorder, which
No.
most people don't know.
They become buddies, and through their friendship, Matt is trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life.
How about a job on the bomb squad?
No.
How about fishing?
Adam keeps telling Matt to go climb a tree.
So
No, my truck is not fixed. It's not good.
It has a better job than you do.
Basically, yeah.
So go climb a tree.
Like, it's like the thing he says more than anything. Is
My transmission blew in my
Go
truck,
climb a tree.
so
Then
I've just been borrowing Josh's car and going to work using Josh's car because that's all I can do.
Outside of Adam's hospital window, so Matt climbs a tree.
Hey, how you doing, pal? I finally know what my goal is. I know what I want to be in life.
Matt decides that he wants to be a doctor, which is very exciting. And then there's like a cop climbing up the tree.
I told you.
Why? When the family gets the electric car, Annie says that they can use their fuel savings to pay for Matt's medical school. So
Don't worry, we can pay for
He's
that
literally
school
standing at the door
savings.
crying now. I'm gonna go take him outside.
very good, very good. Episode 5 is a pot episode, which is awesome. This one is great. Simon has this new
What?
friend, Lee, and Lee is telling stories about how crazy awesome
What?
his dad is. His dad is like in the CIA and he works with the police and does all this really cool
Oh,
stuff.
I'm so bloated.
Just cannot help but be in
I
everybody's
feel like I'm gonna
business.
explode.
He does not believe that Lee's dad is actually in the CIA and actually helps out the
I'm
police.
so bloated
he
right
calls
now.
Sergeant Michaels and is like, "Hey, do you know who this kid's dad is?" Turns out the kid's dad is not.
So crazy. It's like huge.
Lee's dad.
And instead of letting
What,
him
dude?
be like, "It's fine. This kid's just telling stories to make it
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
better
Lay
about
down.
who his dad is." He's like, "I need to be all up in this kid's business. I need
It's
to fix
crazy
all
how
the
you can
problems."
see
He
how
walks into the house
fucking
one day to
full of shit I
spend
am.
with Simon and drops his backpack in the just the silliest way.
Oh, yeah, he is special. Yeah, I'm happy I have Josh's car, but they'll be back in like a couple days. So I have to get it back in a couple days. I'm trying to keep Josh,
The kid has weed
I'm
in
trying to get Josh to come and stay here for like a few weeks, but
And of course, Eric
you know, I don't know.
finds the weed.
I can explain. Maybe he found it. I did find it. It's not mine, honest.
This kid's dad had been arrested previously for possession of drugs, so Eric and Sergeant Michaels go over to their house and confront the dad. The dad is immediately like, "You didn't tell them that those drugs were mine, right?
But he didn't get them from me. Did you tell them they were my drugs?
Because I don't do drugs. You didn't tell them that."
Because you people should know he's a little liar, my son. Isn't that right, Lee? You like to make up stories about everything?
That kid of mine, liar. He's a big fat liar, lying guy.
I didn't say I got it from you. It's not my dad's marijuana.
Next day, Lee admits to Simon that the drugs were his dad's. The pot definitely belonged to his dad, and that his dad was very upset at him for taking and losing the drugs. Lee took the drugs from his dad so that he wouldn't smoke the marijuana. He wanted to keep them from his dad, which is why they were in his bag. Simon forgives Lee and tells him it's okay because there's only 2 things that you need to do to be friends with Simon.
You're still my friend. You only have to do 2 things to be my friend. Don't lie.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Don't lie
I don't know.
Stay away from drugs.
I hope so. I'm gonna try.
Unfortunately, under these conditions,
I told him I would, dude, I was like, come on, this is like a fucking offer you can't beat, you know, a place to stay with fucking, I'll pay for food, I'll cook all the food, I'll do all the laundry, I will fucking clean up after and get rid of garbage. He can even keep all of the cans and get the money for them. All he has to do is let them like stay here for like a month and let me borrow his car, and we share his car, and then I'll be able to buy a car. He wants to sell that car, so that would give him enough time to sell the car too. So maybe we could get something really cool together, because we were looking at a Nissan R, I don't know, it's like a SUV. It's an Acura. I don't know what it is. I can't remember. But it's a SUV type vehicle, and it's like made by Honda, basically. I need you to pay for my transmission to be replaced in my truck. Because my transmission went out, and so I'm gonna have to borrow my ex-husband's car and hope my ex-husband, well, I'm borrowing my ex-husband's car right now, and then hopefully my ex-husband will stay here at my house for a couple weeks so we can share his car. So here's the thing, like, I have already hired my ex-husband. My ex-husband works for me, so I already have to go pick him up to go to work 3 days out of the week, 2 days out of the week. And I want to hire him and take him with me to another job, which taking him would be so much more convenient if he just stayed here. So he's my best friend anyways, so. Hell no, I would not do that, man of the woods. What kind of a person would say that to somebody? My car budget, I don't have a budget right now in mind. I just have to, I don't even know how much money I can save. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to save anything, honestly, but I definitely can't save shit if I don't have a car. And he lives far enough, his apartment is far enough away that it would be extremely difficult for us to try to share his car between two households, so. I will not sell my dog. I've been through way worse and haven't sold my dog, so. And I would literally never sell my cat. Have I ever in my life? Yes. It should scare you. That means you have a healthy respect for it. Nope, I will not cut my dreads. I don't have piercings, so not really. Well, man of the woods, that's like your opinion. I have quite a lot of self-respect. I don't ever think about my tattoos. Y'all do. It doesn't even exist to me. I'm not concerned with what I look like. Y'all are, but I'm not. I could be fat, I could be skinny, I could be tattooed, I could be not tattooed. I assure you, the crowd will say the exact same thing no matter what. I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. So why not give myself an opportunity to see people very clearly? So people like you, Man of the Woods specifically, you literally can't help yourself but announce it when you walk into a room, like, I'm a fucking asshole. So like, if I didn't have face tattoos, or like if I didn't look like this, you might like come in here and be like, hey girl, how's it going, da, da, da. And I might think you're a nice guy, and then like we might have a conversation, like I might be nice to you, and then like a week from now you start to show your true colors. Why not just have you announce yourself when you walk into the room? I mean, that's a win for me. So I know not to even waste a second of my time assuming you might be someone to have an earnest conversation with. You're just a troll, and you should be treated like a troll. You're not an earnest, genuine, kind person. You're just a jerk. Oh, this is not me giving him any energy at all. I am extremely secure in myself, so I don't know what to do with myself right now, though. I wonder if I am ever going to get my new tufting machine that I paid for, that I'm literally just waiting and waiting and waiting for the shipping. Oh, where am I from? Florida. I mean, why would you talk like that? Are you gay? Man of the woods. What is a tufting machine? Is the machine that I use in order to create rugs. I should get like lotion and like massage my stomach. Gotta get that like overhang. There we go. It's like a Homer Simpson. Not much, Jesus. That is so funny that you say that. It looks like I'm having Trump's baby, because when my son was like 10 months old, he had this like blondish hair in the way that it was, and he would walk around going gully 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 gully, and we used to call him Trump baby because he looked just like, and his birthday is like, I don't know, Donald Trump's birthday I think is June 14th, right? Elliot's birthday is June 16th, so we would laugh about it all the time. Well, because like, I don't think having tattoos like this is disrespecting myself. But you wouldn't catch me ever doing sex work, because that is just nasty. Why would I ever waste my time? It's like, money isn't worth it. I'd rather be poor, and I have lived very poor, and I still have never done sex work, so it's trashy. It's nasty. Why would I don't need money so bad that I'm gonna like do things that some fucking nasty man wants me to do. Ew. No. Men are disgusting. Women who work in sex work are fucking whores, and it's disgusting. I have no respect for women who do sex work. What I have respect for is women who will do literally anything to keep from having to do sex work. Women who will get out there and do fucking man jobs. Women who will get out there and weed eat, or fucking dig ditches, or fucking pickaxe things. Literally any kind of labor necessary. Because fuck doing sex work. That's the kind of woman I am, and that's the kind of women I respect. I work my fucking ass off. And it feels good, because working hard feels good. So at the end of the day, not only have I done a fucking job at the same level as a man, but I also can look at the work I've done and been like, wow, look at how much I've accomplished. Feels good to accomplish so much. Where's Patreon? Did part 4 come out yet? Mom, what?
But then you realize, wait, I don't know if you die, so I guess.
Okay, no part 4 yet.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Part of the Problem. We're in my hotel room. I'm Dave Smith. This is Rob Bernstein.
I'm like this people really see how much taller
It's all an optical illusion, dude. It's all distance plus
Why
space.
does it look so much better on your stupid computer camera than both of our nice studios?
It's really ridiculous, dude. I've spent so much money putting our studio together in my house. None of it looks good. I'm not happy with any of it. I have to redo the entire thing. But that's never been what we're about, Rob. This show is about the content, okay? If you want fancy, graphics, lighting that makes sense, and a color scheme that
Tired.
looks not, then you go somewhere else. When you need the hard-hitting content,
I build shit,
come over here,
Samio,
Rob,
so
Dave Rob. We'll let you know what's up.
I'm not. I'm hating on the men who sit on their ass and talk shit to people on the internet.
Yeah, that is true. You never get
Men
both
are
together.
more capable, and I wish to God that I didn't have to do what I do. But unfortunately, in today's world, either you're a fucking woman like me who becomes what you don't have in a male partner because there's just no men around anymore, or you shack up with some man that that's not a real man who makes you miserable, and then you fight all the time, So I am not in a relationship because there are just no men who could potentially handle things better than I can in my life, specifically with my child and my living, the way I live and my environment and my area. There just isn't a man who could do things better than me. So, unfortunately, I have to be in my masculine. I'm not that, but by nature, not necessarily that type of a person. I've always been a prissy, hyper feminine girl, but unfortunately, it's either do or die when it comes to living out in the woods in Oregon. So you either toughen up and you figure out how to survive, or you die. So that's pretty much how it goes.
He was like a little fat Jew with like this white hair. He was a maniac. Anyway, okay, that's neither here nor there. By the way, we are out
That's
in,
right,
in
Autumn.
Nashville right now. Unbelievable. Zany's Nashville. This is one of the best clubs out there. The show last night was so much fun. Sold out show. Amazing Nashville crowds. Thanks for everyone coming out. We got shows tonight and tomorrow too. So we're having
And then
fun.
on Sunday, I'm porching, even if coming out to the Nashville shows, doing my whole comedy FBI and trapping schemes, killing. And then I've got Chickamauga or something like that. Sunday night Lebanon, Chickamauga Wednesday, Atlanta Thursday, Friday Sandpoint, Sunday Seattle, Red Eye home, and then back out next weekend for more porches. Porchtour.com.
Hell yeah, dude. Go to porchtour.com and then comicdavesmith.com. We got a bunch more gigs coming up. Rob is just living on the road. these days, but good for you. Stay busy.
I'm just trying to not eat lettuce and avoid the explosive diarrhea.
Don't eat
That's
lettuce.
all any man can hope for, really.
To be honest, I might have it.
Well, there you go. This episode might take a turn. All right, look, we want to talk about, so J.D. Vance went on Joe
I'm gonna
Rogan.
pee again already. I'm drinking so much water.
It's funny because, so in our last, or you not, but the last episode, I was talking about how J.D. Vance had like been all over this big media
Nope.
tour.
No, thank you, Billy.
Defending the memorandum of understanding and promoting his book. Then
Nope.
he hadn't
But
heard
based
from
on
that
your
since the thing
name,
fell
Dirk
apart. But
Diggler,
then,
in your mouth, it sounds
right,
like you would know a lot about
he
dirty
goes out
kids.
and does the biggest show in the world, 3 hours. Yeah, let me say this, because I want to go through the show. It's a big deal, this is the vice president, and he's a potential candidate in 28. And I guess there's 2 thoughts I have. Like, as I've been thinking about this. So me and you listened yesterday together. We were out in Alabama, and we drove to Nashville from Huntsville, Alabama. So we drove a couple hours. We listened to an hour and a half of it, and then I listened to the rest of it today. And the first thing, there were 2 major thoughts that I had on the episode. Then we can get into the specifics. Number 1, dude. It's so great that this is the new media structure, man. I mean, I really can't overstate that. And this, goddamn, I knew this. I was right about this. I believe it almost makes me feel justified in voting for Donald Trump. Almost. I still apologize for it. He's the worst. I'm wrong. Whatever. But if you remember, I said this at the time. One of the biggest reasons that I supported Donald Trump in 24 was for Rogan, and just in the sense that, like, I thought when Kamala Harris refused to do Rogan, and then Donald Trump did it, I thought that being the story was going to destroy the corporate media. And it kind of did, in a way. Like, it really worked. And one of the things that's so amazing about the Joe Rogan experience now being, like, the biggest show and the center of all this is that, look, a guy like J.D. Vance, he's got to go back on Joe Rogan. He's got to go back and do 3 hours and sit down. And I thought Joe handled it just right. Like, just let him talk. Let him make his case. And, okay, so then my number 1 takeaway is just, like, it's amazing where we are. Like, compared to 10 years ago, where the state of media is so much better than the media that sold us COVID and, all these wars and all this shit. Don't get me wrong, bad policies still persist, but they're not being sold. The people are against them.
All right, I agree with everything you just said. J.D. Vance has made a terrific tactical error, which is everyone in government, you need a side hustle. Donald Trump knows how to grift off the market, sell early access to his tweets, and he's insider trading. That's too sophisticated for J.D. Vance. For J.D. Vance, he can write a book while he's supposed to be in office, and then you got to use that platform so you can go out and promote the book. This is the wrong time to be promoting the book, because now you got to go on Joe Rogan and talk about the Iran war and be the face of trying to actually be the individual who's going to explain it. And
well, he's taking his shot now. Look, I mean, J.D. Vance is the vice president. He wants to be president, very clearly. And so he's got to try to find a way to carve out a lane that could possibly be a lane that he...
I'll go make myself another drink. Turn off the AC. Where is the freaking remote? That's what I want to know. There it is. Okay. What? What are you doing? Did you push that? I don't hate on men. I love men. I don't like adult-sized boys, which we are quite full of these days. Right? Men who expect women to do everything for them. And, or like, shit's not supposed to be equal 50-50. we're supposed to have our specific tasks as men and women. We are equal but different. We're not equal, 50-50 the same. And we're not two halves. What do you want? What? What? Yep, I know you want food, but you cannot have food. No. All done, no food. None. No food. I don't see no food anywhere. Well, I'm sorry if that stresses you out, but you're rotund. You got a very delicious breakfast this morning, and I even gave you extra today. You're not supposed to eat more than that. You're on a diet. I gave you wet food too. Look, you're itchy, and you can't even reach your back leg to your ear because you're such a chunker. Because you're such a chunker. You're a monster. No, he will not go upstairs. He's not got, because he's a chunker. Lay down. He's a good boy. He's a Great Pyrenees. He's not a go upstairs and go downstairs kind of a dog. He's a sleep out in the field kind of dog. He's a hunt bears, attack bears, fight bears kind of dog. But he's not a go upstairs type of dog. He won't even go upstairs to like get on my bed when he was able to get on my bed. He is literally a teddy bear. You want more? You saw him give me the hand signal for more. He's doing sign language. He's my Orlor. He's my Orlor. He's a big old potato. He's my floor ornament. He's my floornament. My Florly. He's my Florly. He's my Florly Orly. Florly ornament. He likes to be up at night. He stays awake all night long, and he watches out for boogeymen all night long. And at the first sign of any boogeyman, he starts growling at the boogeyman. Dude, the only time I've ever seen this dog even remotely like aggressive was one time we were living in a tent for like when I escaped my property. So I have a stalker on the internet, and they were sending these 4 men to my house to murder me. And so I escaped my property. And when I did, we lived in a tent for a couple months while I like got my shit together to get my bus off my property and get it to safety. So we lived in this tent, and it was dark, and he had never been in a tent before. We had never lived in a tent before. So this was all new to us. And so anyway, I opened the tent door, and he didn't know it was me. And dude, he almost fucking attacked the shit out of me, dude. I couldn't believe it. And he was scary. I've never seen him that fucking scary. So, and then this happened on a live stream actually, but there was this guy who I bought firewood from one time, and then like a couple of like days after I bought firewood, maybe a week or so after I bought firewood, he randomly showed up at my house and was like, "Oh, I wanted to bring you this firewood," and it was like 2 pieces of wood, and I was like, "Oh yeah," and I was like telling him how I have cameras everywhere, because I did. I was like, yeah, I have cameras everywhere. I'm on a live stream right now, actually. And he was like, what? Oh, really? And I was like, dude, he literally was coming here he was casing my house, dude. He was like gonna try to fucking rob my shit. Or, try to hurt me. But my dog started acting like super sketchy, dude. He was like growling, and I was like, dude, my dog never acts like this, so you should probably leave. He's like, yep, I won't. Dude, I'm telling you, you have no idea. If I was anyone else, if I was not Heather, and I wasn't like living by Heather's guardian angels and shit, I would have died, like, probably so many times over. Because remember, not only did this random guy who I bought firewood from want to like rob me or hurt me, but Roxanne, my former best friend, who I literally gave half of my property to, she was trying to get me killed so she could take over all the property. So she won't be 50% owner, she'll be 100% owner. So she's been trying to get me killed for a while now. But anyway, she teamed up with the woman who's been stalking me on the internet. So Roxanne went from my best friend to telling the psychotic woman on the internet who wants me murdered, when I'm home, get out of there. When I'm home, what I'm doing, if I'm, if I'm there at night, just like she was feeding her all kinds of information about me, trying to get that woman to pay people to come and assault me or something, which she did do, in my opinion. So after those 4 men showed up on my property, I got the fuck out of there. God protected me. I had never left my property before. For 3 years straight, every single day, every single night, I was at that property. I did not sleep away from the property, not one single fucking day, until I did one time. And while I was gone, I got a phone call from the people I share land with, my driveway with. Like, I have a long driveway, and my neighbor lives on the other side of it. Get out of there! Wow! You fucking bitch. Get out of my plant! Fucking bitch! Get out of there! Money is in the fucking plants, dude. She was chewing my shit. What a bitch. I'm so glad I got this. Anyway, so I went to go dog sit for my neighbor, and I had some issue with my power. My electricity wasn't working. And that was the only, my power box was the only, I was living off grid. And so if I couldn't generate my power, then I had no power. And because I was all fucked up. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go dog sit for my neighbor who needs my help, and I'll spend the night at her house until I can figure this shit out. That morning, after I left, slept, woke up, got a phone call from my next door neighbor who was like, dude, where are you? Are you okay? And I was like, what the fuck's going on? They're like, last night, super late at night, these 4 men just showed up here. They were looking for you. They're like, where's the red-haired girl? Fucking scary. And I never slept there again after that. That was the last time I left I left and like never came back. Yep, only cannabis. I cannot believe you, Money. She's literally was climbed up on top of my candles to get to the begonia. I hope you get fucking the pukes from that, you bitch. But anyway, dude, it's fucking wild how vindictive people can be. Especially like I gave her half of my property, and so now so the woman who I gave half of my property to, that's the kind of person that people who come in here and are like, oh, you're like a dirty dreadlock wook, whatever. She is the kind of person that they think that I am just because I have dreadlocks. And that's not me. That's her. So I know exactly who they're talking about. That's why I don't do dreadlocks anymore as a career. Because people in the dreadlock community are fucking pieces of shit. Well, Samio, it's a good thing that my self-worth doesn't rely on whether you believe me or not. I documented the entire thing on social media. You're welcome to go back through the history in 2021 and watch it all happen. Here. Well, I guess I'm gonna go. It's 7:30. I've been up since fucking the butt crack of dawn, and I'm gonna go to bed early. 2,000 milligrams of sodium, thank God. My cardiologist told me that I need to be consuming 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams of sodium per day. Well, I hope to God that you're not getting paid for it, Samuel. Oh my goodness. I am sleepy. I woke up at 5:36 this morning and then cried, which is extremely exhausting. I'm sorry. I don't know if you've ever cried before, but it is exhausting. It takes it out of you when you cry hard. And I was crying very hard this morning. And so after my really good cry, then I had to go to work. So then I went to work and I fucking super deep cleaned this house because she has a company coming. Her in-laws are coming to town, so like I had to do like extra stuff that I don't normally like do every single time necessarily, but I like was taking a magic eraser and like scrubbing the fucking cabinets and taking all the fingerprints off of the doors and the door jambs, and I did a really good job on the stainless steel kitchen stuff and spent like a lot of time cleaning out the sink and scrubbing the countertops and shit. So not even to mention how I spent 2 hours in the bathroom scrubbing the tub and the shower and removing all of the soaps, cleaning all the bottles of soap, putting them all back. I'm tired. Elementy is very salty, but that's because it has 1,000 milligrams of salt per packet, which is why I like it. It's got double the salt that Liquid IV has, and it is the same price. It also has magnesium and potassium, which is ultimately what I need. But what I want is I want an electrolyte supplement that has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, has 3 different types of magnesiums. I want all 3 types of magnesium. And then I want potassium as well. But I can't seem to find one that has all of those things and is something reasonably priced. So, all right. Anyway, love you guys.